Hi guys, this is Baha Kazi. Welcome to the tutorial. In this tutorial, we will learn about the working directory of R, how to read the data from a file, and how can we write the data after some modification or anything. If you create some object or data frame, how we write that data frame to a file. Let's see first the working directory. So what is working directory actually? So every session of R maintain a working directory. This is the current directory actually. So we can determine the what directory R is working now using the get wd function, or we can do the set wd function to set the current path if you want. So for example, let's see in RStudio. So see what's the current directory of my RStudio. So get wd, so this is the current working directory. So I want to change this working directory. For example, set working directory to, for example, I want to set working directory to this one. Control C. So let's see what's my current working directory now. So the current directory now working directory is rtest. Okay, now let's go again. So the how we can see the current working directory, and we can set the working directory. Okay, so we can read the data from file using many different functions, but these four are most useful, or maximum most of the people use these four functions to read data from a file. So first one is read table, then read CSV, read line, and read scan. Read table read the entire data frame from a txt file, and CSV for like to read the data from a CSV or the Excel. So if you have the Excel, you can save as a CSV and read that using the R function read.csv. For example, if see I have anything like packet.excel, so I can save this save as like CSV, common delimited. So I did that. So I have a file like packet.csv. So let's see how read.table works. So read.table and read.csv, most of the parameters are same. So I will discuss the read.table more details so that we can cover other functions. So read.table has few many arguments. So out of that, most important arguments I am discussing here. First one is file. So file is the name of the file we want to read, and header is a logical parameter, and we use that if we want to read the header, or if we don't want, we can make it false. So these if we make it header true, so these headers becomes actually the variable of the data frame. And separator is the string indicating how the columns are separated, or an end row, total number of rows you want to read. If you don't use that, so the default is the whole file, complete file. Skip, so if you want to skip the number of lines, you can use that skip parameter. String as a factor. Should the character vector be converted to a factor? So we discussed the factors in my previous tutorial. So we know what is vector. So if we don't make it true, so it will the content of that column will save as a vector. If we make it false, so it will not, it will put the exact value. and blank line skip. If there is something, any of the element is not there, so it will put it into the logical, so blank line skip. So if true, blank lines in the input file are ignored. Now see how the scan has. So scan has also some arguments. Out of those, turn the file. So name of the file which the data are to be read, so same as the read table. And what actually the important thing, the type of data you want to read. So actually there, for example, the file has text, numerics. So if you want to read only the numeric data, you can use this parameter. Separator same as the read table, and the maximum number of data value you want to read. Default is no limit, and skip is the number of lines you want to skip. So same as like read table. Okay, so here is an example. Like I use the read.csv because we discuss about read table. So now we will see practically in R Studio. So the read.csv. So here I use n. So read.csv. So n is the frame, data frame, and the packets.csv is the file I want to read. And here I said skip 1. So for example, this is an example of the CSV file. So content of the CSV file. So I said the skip 1, that means I don't want to read this line, and I say header equals to true. So that means these headers, time, network 1, network 1, these will become a variable. So I read this in a frame of n, and I want to see the structure of n, that means my data frame. So see here the $time. So this is a variable, this is another variable, another variable. So these all are actually the column names. And here see run, it becomes the factor. So because the 10 levels, 1, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So if you see the Excel file or CSV file, so there are lots of input, and somewhere it first, somewhere second, third, fourth. So total 10 runs. So all the 10s are here. So it gives the 10 levels. So after that, if you want to see what's inside of a variable, so like n is the data frame. Within this data frame, network 1 is a variable, and I want to see from 1 to 100 elements. So first 100 elements. So you can see like that. So now let's see, go to the R Studio and see how it works. So I want to create a data frame n. Okay. So using read.csv. So first thing, it asking for like file. So file is the name of the file. So the name of the file, for example, I have a file name is packet.csv. packet.csv. So then I want to skip the first line. So as skip equals to 1, then I say header equals to true. Header equals to true. So I have a file. I have a file name is packets.csv, and in that packet I want to read the value of that packet, the element content of that packet, except the first line, and I want to use the header of the columns as a variable to enter. So I want to see the structure of n. So this also show here. So here I have n is my data frame, and within the data frame I have all the variables, time, networks. So here we can also use the structure to see the structure of the n. So it shows the n, time, network 1, network 2, network 3. So this is actually this is my working directory, and I have an Excel CSV file. So the number of SOI omitted this line and read everything else, and I want time network 1, network 2, network 3 and run as a variable. So we check that. So this so if you want to see the content of any of the variables, for example n dollar n dollar network 2, you want to see 1 to 50. So it's showing the content of n from 1 to 50. Okay, let's go back to the slide. So we check that all of this, and so now see how we can write data to a file. We check how we can read data file. So we can read any data from any file like CSV. So instead of if text file, we can do, instead of CSV, just use the text and the table. So for write, we can use write.table, write.csv and write.lines. So lines basically to write character by character, and in the read we also said the read line. So this is also by reading the line by line of a text file. Okay, so here we say okay, write.table. So we want to use we want to see how the write.table works. So the commonly used arguments x, the object to be want to write. That means the object, for example here the object is n, so we want to write n. Then file, the name of the file to write, we want to write. Then separator, same as the read and na. That means if there is nothing, if any of the content, any of the element is missing, so by default it will put na. Okay. So here is an example like write.csv. So n file equals to write packet.csv, then it will write something like this. And if we use a write.table, this is for txt file, n, so n is my data frame, and file equals to write packets.txt. So this is the destination file. I want to write all my elements of the frame, and this is the separator. So let's go to the RStudio and see how it works. Write CSV. Okay, so write CSV, the first thing is what I want to write. What I want to write. So I want to write my data frame, and the name of my data frame is n, and where I want to write. So I want to write like file is write.csv. So I want to write file equals to write packets.csv. So write packets.csv is my destination file name. So enter. So the R creates a CSV file in the working directory or workspace. And the second function, write we say table, right? Second one we said write.table. So we said write.table. So first one is my first one is our data frame, so n. So second parameter is the file name, and third parameter we use the separator. So SEP separator equals to /t. See, that's what we use. The separator equals to /t tab. Sorry, tab. So we create two files. One is write packets.csv and another one is write packets.txt. Let's see they created here. write packets.csv. So see here, the first line omitted, so there was a line like the number of packets, so others are the time, network 1, network 2, everything is here. And the write.txt, so this is write.txt file, and write.txt file created, and is the time, so is use the tab. So we created two file, and we put all of our data to those two files. So in this video we check what is actually the working directory and how we can read data from file using the write.table, write.csv, read lines, and scan, and how we write data to a file using the write.csv and write.table. So thank you everybody, and next video I will talk about how we can plot the data, or how we can visualize our data for presentation, and hope you all will watch that video. Thank you very much.